Howdy y'all! This is my take on a glamified Valentine / Galentine's look. Not super traditional with the orange mattes and purple multichrome shimmer, but that's just not who I am. I wanted to do something a little bit more out there. The first shadow I'm placing down on the outer edge of my eye is Juicy, a nice vibrant orange shade, and slowly building up the shape that I want. The previous videos I filmed, I've only shown the look being done on one eye, but when I'm actually applying makeup, I find it easier to do both my eyes at the same time. For the inner portion of the eye, I'm using Maybe, a nice saturated magenta color. I buff out the shade with Cheeks, a pastel pink. I do go back and forth between Maybe and Cheeks so that the blend is more seamless. Next, I darken up the outer edge of Juicy with Grunge, which is a deep brown. I use Covet, a dark purple to deepen the magenta on the lid. I went with Covet for two reasons. First, I know I'm going to use a purple multichrome, so it's going to tie in the overall color story. Second, there is a dark pink shade in the palette that I use later on, but honestly it looks nearly identical to Grunge on my skin tone, so I don't find it entirely necessary to use. I go back and use Grunge to meld it into Covet a little bit with a light amount of product. I build up the magenta more with Maybe since I feel like it got a little bit lost. Now I'll really add more depth with Vinyl, easily the best black shadow I've used. It's pigmented, but I never get fallout from it. I use it to establish a sharper, defined wing shape, then go in with Grunge to blend out the black. Now I'm laying down Power, the neon orange in the palette, to the edge of the orange blend to give it more vibrancy. Then I add Charged, a neon pink. I didn't switch brushes because I'm nasty, but also because there isn't a huge difference between them tonally. It makes the blend more seamless too. I was a little messy and over-eager laying down Charged, so do be careful with any neon pinks. Add a bit more Covet just because I wanted to bring it a tad higher than where it was at initially. I also got a little sloppy, but because these shadows are fairly easy to work with, I was able to blend out my mistake. Phew! For the lower lash line, I laid down vinyl close to my lash line. Normally I would go in with a dark matte to blend out the black, but I wanted to keep the lower lash line on the lighter side, so I go in with the bright orange and pink Juicy and Maybe. Then I'll add in the neon shadows, Power and Charged. Wow, the most exciting part. Shimmer, baby! I'm going to use Bloodline from Clionadh, sort of as a base. It's super sparkly and shifty and easy to build up, which is one of its best qualities. I'll then add Helix Nebula from Terra Moons to the edge of that, since it has a gorgeous purple base. I just wanted to clarify that the exact products I use are not 100% necessary to create this look, and I don't want my tutorials to be about the products, but I think showing what I use is a helpful reference. And that's the finished look. I think it would look great with lashes or liner, neither of which I did, but there is a lot of color happening here based on just 2 shimmers. Wowza! If anything, you could use either or, and not both, but I'm extra, so I loved adding both in. I hope you enjoyed the look. Let me know how the additional editing was and if I should move forward with it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and feel free to like or subscribe and check out my other socials. Thank you so much!